Hey, thanks so much for finding the video. Do us a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. And be sure to leave your comment. We love to interact. Enjoy the video. You all know by now how I feel about lists. So, I am not going to talk about a list. I am, however, going to use a list as the launch pad for me to talk about something that I think is so critically important for the 2021 New Orleans Saints that has left them completely undervalued in the minds and eyes of many. So Jeremy Fowler at ESPN.com is doing this series where they're ranking the top 10 at every position, blah, 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 blah. And they asked players, coaches, and league personnel, executives right now to rank the best in the NFL at every position. So I do put a little more credence in it because this isn't like a fan vote or media's way. It's players, coaches, and executives in the NFL ranking the best players at every position. Derrick Henry, they have as the best running back in the NFL. That should come as no surprise at all. What may surprise some is that after the Titans stud running back, the number 2 best running back in the NFL they have is Alvin Kamara. Last year, they had him as the 4th best running back in the NFL. And obviously, at this time a year ago, Kamara was coming off of a year where we learned after the 2019 season he had an MCL injury that he played through for the bulk of the season. And it was just very obvious. And even though he didn't run the ball necessarily as effectively as he had, he still caught 81 passes that season because Alvin Kamara is a freaking stud. He is the quintessential 2021 running back. A versatile piece that can run the ball inside and out, that can catch the ball out of the backfield, that doesn't need 20-plus carries a game to be effective. He can impact the game in so many ways. That is what the NFL is becoming. So I don't really care so much about this list. What I do care about is underscoring why I think the New Orleans Saints are still going to be a contender this year. Because people have completely forgotten about Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. And if you've listened to my show for any length of time, you know that I'm not the guy that takes it easy on the local team just because they're the local team. If they're going to be good, I tell you I think they're going to be good. If I think they're going to be bad, I tell you I think they're going to be bad. If I think they're going to win, I'll tell you. If I think they're going to lose, they're going to tell you. And I really don't care if you like me or not. It's just, I'm here to give an opinion and I'm going to tell you. And the thing about the New Orleans Saints is, in the recent struggles, and it's not even that they've had struggles, they've won the damn division 4 straight years. They're a really, really, really good roster. The one single biggest complaint that people have had has been Drew Brees. And I know that's blasphemy because he's the greatest player in the history of the franchise. And the New Orleans Saints are what they are and never were before and maybe hope to be again only because of him. He's Breezes. He is awesome. He is, build him a statue, retire his number today. He's the greatest. There's no debate about what he is, who he is, what his legacy is. It's also true that in his recent seasons, as he approached and moved beyond 40 years old, and his body broke down, and he was injured, he couldn't push the ball downfield. What the Saints did is they built their offense to compensate. Instead of being a team that could stretch the field, they did exactly what Brees does and did his whole career and took advantage of his superpower, which was his accuracy, and they surgically dissected teams. Short passes, get guys in space, and Brees operated it brilliantly. But the thing that we always kept coming back to is they don't have a stretch the field option because Brees struggles to push the ball down the field. Look, man, that guy played with collapsed lungs and broken ribs and torn fascia on his foot. I mean, the guy's incredible. Like, he's amazing. I'm not in any way being critical. But if there was one thing people would say, it was, well, that's what you were lacking. So now you've got a guy in Jameis that is 26 years old, is a physical freak that can do the thing that Brees couldn't near the end. And oh, by the way, you've got him supplemented by Alvin Kamara, who last year, when healthy, and we've almost forgotten about this because he had the season in 2019 where he played mostly injured, but last year, Alvin Kamara ran for 932 yards and had 756 receiving yards. He's a total, absolute freak show stud, and I love him. I might be in love with him a little bit. And I don't care if you judge me for it at all. But the other thing about it as well is when you've got that guy, when you've got Alvin Kamara, who is that versatile, he's going to make any quarterback's job easier because you can hand the ball. You're never predictable by personnel. When Alvin Kamara is in the game, he could take the ball between the tackles. He could take the ball on a handoff around end. He could motion out of the backfield and go deep. He can run a wheel route. You can throw him a screen. Like, he's the versatile, he's the queen piece on the chessboard. You can do anything with him. And it's almost like people have forgotten that. And then, oh, by the way, you're also going to get Michael Thomas back and healthy this year. Like, it kind of amazes me how much people have seemingly forgotten this about Michael Thomas in 1 year. Michael Thomas had the greatest start to a career ever for a receiver. As a rookie, he caught 92 passes for 1,100 yards. In year 2, he caught 104 passes for 1,200 yards. Then he went to 125 receptions for 1,400 yards. And then he set the NFL record with 149 catches for 1,725 yards, and he was the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. In 4 years, he went from 92 to 104 to 125 to 149 receptions. Yardage, 1,100, 1,200, 1,400, 1,700. Boom. Every year for 4 years. Improve. Boom, boom, boom. Record setting. Then he gets injured. He has a step back. And it's like you forgot how dominant. What do you think? He just forgot how to play football? You think he's not going to be a competent, dominant receiver again now that he actually is healthy and he doesn't have an ankle? He's playing on one foot? Like, whoever is the quarterback of this team is stepping into a situation where you've got all of these weapons around whoever that quarterback is. And oh, by the way, that quarterback is a guy that's, as we've talked about before, who's thrown for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and been a starter and won games and is physically a freak show and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I understand all the projections for the Saints. I get it. Like, I get why in a year of transition, no Drew Brees. Obviously, you lost guys at every level of your defense. You still got a giant question at cornerback. I get it. I mean, I understand why the questions persist, and you're in a division with the team that just won the Super Bowl. But I also understand the team that just won the Super Bowl, while that's amazing and incredible, Tom Brady at some point isn't going to be Tom Brady anymore. And might I also remind you that Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in the NFC Championship game against Green Bay, and somehow the Packers managed to not win that ball game. Like, stunningly. I don't even really know how that happened, but it did. And good on them. They won the damn Super Bowl. I get it. I'm just saying it ain't as cut and dry as say they're going to be right back there again. And I like the Saints a lot. And I like the Saints a lot because they've been so consistent for so long. Their roster is deep and talented. And they've got the best offensive weapons of anybody. Like, it's incredible when you look at Kamara and Michael Thomas and what they have to complement and make that transition to quarterback that much easier. So, yes, I do like the Saints a lot this year. I do think they're a playoff team this year. I don't know if I'll predict them to win the NFC or go to a Super Bowl or anything like that, but I do think they're a playoff team. And as we've seen year and year and year after year in this league, just get in. Just get in. You got a shot. Tampa didn't win the division last year, y'all. But they won it at the end. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.